You ever wonder how we pass down our core values to the next generation? Well, today we're going to dive into the world of Islamic children's cartoons, shows like Omar and Hana, to see exactly how they use animation and music to teach faith in a way that's fun, super engaging, and honestly, really memorable. And it all kicks off with something so simple, a welcoming greeting. This line from Omar and Hana, it just sets the perfect tone. See, it's not just a hello, it's a wish for peace, and that builds a foundation of kindness and community right from the get-go. So, the first building block in these shows is all about vocabulary. But listen, this isn't your average language lesson. It's about weaving faith into the actual rhythm of daily life, all through a few really powerful Arabic phrases. Okay, first up we have Bismillah. It means in the name of Allah, and it's taught as the essential phrase you say before starting literally anything, from eating a snack to starting a game. It frames every single action, no matter how big or small, as an act of devotion. And this is the genius part. This is how they make it stick. It's not some dry command. It's a super catchy song lyric. By putting the lesson to a tune, the shows make sure that saying Bismillah becomes this automatic, joyful habit for kids. It's brilliant. All right, next up is Alhamdulillah, which means praise be to God. Now, this is the go-to phrase for showing gratitude. It teaches kids to stop and really appreciate the good things in their lives, which helps foster this constant feeling of thankfulness. And what's so smart is how they weave this into all these totally normal, everyday moments. You know, whether the character has just finished a fun game, or their breakfast is finally ready, or they've just learned something new. The natural response is always Alhamdulillah. It directly connects that feeling of gratitude to real-life experiences. The third key phrase is Inshallah, or God willing. This one's used when you're talking about plans for the future. And it introduces a really important idea, that while we can make our plans, the final outcome isn't totally up to us. You know, this lyric is actually pretty deep for a kid's show. It's explaining the theology behind the word itself. It's a lesson in humility and trust, teaching kids that faith means accepting that a higher power has a say in what happens. It's a huge concept, but delivered in such a simple, accessible way. But these words, they aren't just for memorizing. In this next section, we're going to see how the shows use music to turn these phrases into actual tools for building character and, resilience. Okay, take this scene. A character named Ferris is trying to hit a balloon, and he's getting really frustrated. But instead of just someone telling him to try harder, the show gives him these 4 simple steps. And notice, saying Bismillah, turning to his faith, is step number 1 for overcoming a challenge. And that's the core message right there. It's so clear. Turning to your faith doesn't just make you feel better emotionally. It's presented as a practical strategy that can make tough things feel more manageable. It's a direct link between faith and feeling empowered. So beyond just personal character, these shows put a huge emphasis on our relationships, and they start with the biggest one of all, family. So here's a situation that I'm sure every parent and kid can relate to. Omar and Anna think visiting their grandparents sounds kind of boring. Their friend's house seems way more exciting. It's got better food, faster toys. It's a feeling any kid would get. But then their dad steps in with this really direct lesson. There's no ambiguity here. It's a clear statement about priorities, saying that family isn't just an obligation, it should be the number 1 focus of your love and your attention. And the story shows them how to actually do it. It's not a lecture, it's about shared experiences, building something with their grandpa, helping to take care of their grandma. They end up discovering that the real joy of family comes from that connection, not from who has the coolest toys. All right, now let's look at how these cartoons handle some of the more nuanced social lessons, like, say, the dynamic between different generations. Now, this is what I find so fascinating. Respect isn't shown as a one-way street. Yes, Omar learns he should be patient and respectful to his elders, but in that same episode, his grandfather teaches him that older people also have a responsibility to love the young and treat them with tenderness and fairness. It's just a beautiful lesson in mutual respect. And finally, we get to what might just be the most profound lesson these shows tackle. What does it really, truly mean to be generous? The whole episode is basically built around this one simple but really powerful question. The family makes these fruit tarts to give away at the mosque, which perfectly sets the stage for a big lesson in charity. And here's the dad's answer, and it makes a really crucial distinction. He explains that true charity isn't just giving away your leftovers or what you don't need. No, the highest form of giving is to part with something that you yourself love and really want. So the whole story builds up to this one moment. After sharing with everybody, there is only one single fruit tart left, and it belongs to Hana, who absolutely loves them. This is her big test. And what does she do? In this just remarkable act of selflessness, she gives her last, most wanted tart to a boy who, honestly, doesn't seem all that grateful and has already had two. She completely gets her father's lesson, showing the ultimate act of giving without expecting anything back. So when you step back and look at it all, it's clear these cartoons are doing way more than just keeping kids busy. They are systematically building this moral and spiritual framework for children, covering everything from daily vocabulary and how to be resilient to the importance of family, respect, and yeah, true selfless generosity. And that kind of leaves us with this big question, right? When we are this intentional, this thoughtful about the content we create for children, how profoundly can we shape their core understanding of the world and their place in it? It's a powerful reminder of the huge responsibility that comes with telling stories for young minds.